Welcome to Leo for Leos. This is a channel featuring intuitive tarot readings for the astrological sign of Leos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a Leo as well, so this reading is for both of us. Cross watchers and fellow readers are welcome. However, I do want to give you guys a heads up that I read the cards as I see them and not always the way it's traditionally done. Okay, let's get into the reading. We're going to start out with the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. This will be for mid-January 2020. And this will be from the 15th to the 30th of January. The 15th to the 30th of January. Whoa. Well, I really barely got a chance to shuffle these before things want to come out and talk to me, but alright, got a lot to say for January mid-month reading. Wow. Alright, let's do a little bit more shuffling. And then January 15th to January 30th, 2020 for my Leos. Leos, Leos, Leos. For Leos, Leos, Leos. What will Leos need to do? What are some of the solutions that Leos will need? What are some of the solutions that Leos will need? For the mid-month of January. Mid-month January. On the 15th to 30th. From the 15th to the 30th. What will they need to make it the best outcome possible? Best outcome possible for Leos. Woo! Look at this. Incredible. The best outcome possible for Leos. Best outcome possible for Leos. Whoa. Five. Oh, gonna pick it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1. Okay, do some more. This is very interesting. I mean, this is very, very interesting. Let's find out more detail. Okay. Ooh, pretty cool. Throw it in here. Okay, so very interesting. So first we start off with the Fool. Fool is so many ways to look at the Fool. We're thinking the last half of January is going to still be that kind of timing where there's a sense of newness in the year, and still the energy of, yes, we have a lot that we want to do, and we're just starting our adventure, really. There's a sense of freshness about this adventure, and like starting a new life or starting things new. 2020 is sort of like, okay, now we can start over. Now things can be fresh and new. And there's going to be a feeling of that, like throughout the whole year, of really setting the course of the 2020s correctly. So yeah, there's a very incredible enthusiasm that's going on here that I can sense, and it's really kind of fun. It's excited, and there's a lot of, unfortunately, some naive thinking, but also optimistic thinking. So it's going to be very interesting for you to differentiate your thoughts, like what thoughts are naive and which thoughts are actually something you can put into action and make it happen in reality. Um, so yeah, that's something very interesting there. There's a portion of this where a lot of the things that are happening in your world is going to be, or at least you feel, is dependent on other people. And that's cool because, especially for Leos out there that like to do things on their own, they're not really kind of the people, they don't really like work well with others. Those types of people will find that they're going to be put in situations where they'll have to work with other people. They'll have to figure out how to communicate with other people in a cohabitation. And that's going to be very important for, Leos who have like their team or their crew. This is going to be strengthening the bond between you and your people. Some people are going to walk away though. Some people are going to be like, hey, this isn't the stuff for me. And quite honestly, Leo is like, fine, leave. That's right, leave if you have to. And this is all, playing with nostalgia. Some people, it's going to hurt more for you to leave those people because it's going to hurt more because of the nostalgia, like the memories. And some people will just stay just because of the nostalgia. This is also talking about someone who is in a relationship with someone or people who are kind of have been there in the beginning, but maybe the relationship is kind of rocky. And you want to, there may be some tensions, but it's hard to say goodbye to people. It really is, especially if you've got a long history. And in which, the intense ability to use your intuition is really going to have to come into play here. Like, just kind of balancing it all out, like being a little, like having a little bit of tough love and also being kind, being sweet, but not to a fault, right? So you don't want to be right to a fault, and you don't want to be or you don't want to be too cruel at a fault, and then you don't also want to be too nice at a fault. Maybe, I mean, this whole situation's kind of got you feeling a little trapped, and like you don't know what to do about like certain people who are probably really on their way out of your life. And it's going to really be about what is going to work best for you personally. You got to think about yourself a little bit here. What is the best outcome for you? And that you'll have to determine by your intuition. No one will be able to answer this for you. And we have the King of Wands here really talking about being the master of your surroundings and taking the power that you have about your life and the people you want in it and actually applying it to reality. Like, if someone really isn't working and is really like taking everything out of you, or maybe they're just not, they're insulting you and they think that they're being kind, or maybe it's a clash of personalities, maybe you have to, bring out the wand and say, I'm sorry, but this isn't going to work out anymore. And that's just how life is, right? Sometimes you have to say goodbye to people you've known for a long time, even if you don't want to. It's sad. It's true sadness, but you've got to think of yourself in this case. Now the next we have is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles in this case is really, we usually always talk about money and career, and not so much romance, but romance does have a place to play in all this. I mean, this could be a relationship that's going kind of, the first case here could be talking about a relationship. But here's a situation, we're definitely looking at someone from the outside, not sure, someone in your life that is a King of Pentacles, like the master of their money and their businesses, someone who really knows what they're doing. Not sure if they're like a mentor, or if this is a partner, or if this is someone who you know. I would say the King of Wands would stand for the Leo. If you don't mind the train, there's a train coming past and is going to make a lot of noise. But there's a lion back there. So the King of Wands is definitely Leo. This is a second party person who is extremely good with money and extremely good with making sure, like running a company. These two are very good together. Page of Swords is a kind of like taking, somebody's not taking this seriously. It's like a very chill attitude towards this. Definitely a partnership going on here. And maybe this is really talking about like cooling down and just really accepting the partnership. It almost seems as if the partnership is actually getting stronger, this partnership here. So we're talking about, I believe we're talking about two different relationships. The first is talking about just people in general that are in your world that you might need to, exile. And this is talking about a specific person who is a partner that you can grow with, that you're going to be working. Either you're working on a project together, or maybe you're in business together with this person, but for some reason you guys are each other's yin and yang. There's definitely a yin and yang going on, and you're going in the same direction, and you have like a lot of the same enthusiasm. And that's pretty cool. It's nice to find someone with that kind of energy to work with, because you can get a lot of stuff done with someone like that. Whether it's your doing or possibly, events happening, Leos are going to go into hermit mode again. We're constantly going back into the hermit mode just to collect your thoughts and come up with some ideas. I think it's not so bad because this is all on the creative side. It's about building something great and really applying your artistry and your expertise, collaborating. This is really this is getting me kind of exciting. Some kind of project you're working on that's really getting your creative juices going and getting people to notice you as an artist too, and people looking to you for expertise and advice and such. This worries me because Leo's somebody out there is just like yeah, they love the work that they're doing, but somehow this isn't quite the stuff that they want to do. This isn't how they pictured it. It's there's something quite not the way they wanted it to be. There's something missing. And there's also quite a bit of like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. This isn't working. Let's strategize. Let's re-strategize again. Okay, so there's a lot of strategizing here. I love this planning and strategizing to get things right. That's what it feels like. It's like we've got to get this right. And it feels like a burden. It feels like a huge burden. Lots of burden, because the burden is to get it right and start getting, you know, the profits where you want it to. There's a sense of fear that it's not all going to work out, and you have a lot of things to do. There's a lot of wishing again. I hope and I wish this will work this time. Hard work, you're putting in the hours, you're working overtime, you're giving it all, you're giving it your all, because there's a sense of like, this must work this time. I can feel the intensity. And the Death card is maybe even a short period of time where you may not be able to do something in particular. It's like a limitation or the death of something. Like maybe you won't be able to go out, or maybe you won't be able to have a good time until this is done. So something has to stop for a while, and you have to be strong. You have to be strong in order to get through this time, because it's not really like a long period of time, but it's just work, and you can't, at the place where you are and at the end of January, you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. You're just not. You can't, because you're still working on the stuff and it still needs to be turned over. And there's a bit of a pity party. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe look at all the terrible things that have happened to me in my life. I can't seem to catch a break. You know? Justice. I believe that this is those feelings that you're having is it's just feelings, but the truth is that everything is working out the way it's supposed to. Look, victory. The thing about it is that there are feelings that are happening that are just, they're just going to happen. Emotions happen, but that doesn't mean that that's reality, because the truth is we can't see what is going to happen in the future. We can't see through the veil of what's happening in front of us at the moment. And so sometimes it feels like you're never going to win, the race. At the beginning of a marathon, it just feels like you're never going to get to that finish line because it's so far away. And yet it's possible to win one step at a time. You're still stepping. You're still taking your steps towards the finish line. So you can't see the finish line at this moment. There's a lot of thoughts of past, present, future. And like distraught and heartbreak. I mean, it's like you're just like, unfortunately, in a bad space of thought. And that's where I believe a lot of Leos will have to do that, the hard work of trying to understand how to transform your emotional state, right? Instead of something being fearful, or maybe the same exact biological components is excitement, right? So maybe you can change the feeling of hopelessness to feeling hopeful, or some other feeling. That's a deeper conversation for my Leos, to tell you the truth. That's a deeper conversation because and it'll come up. We'll talk about it because I would love to know the answer to that. How do you fix your broken feelings and turn them around and transform them? Sometimes you can do that, and then sometimes you have to just feel those emotions. The Queen of Wands here, another embodiment of the Leo sign. So this is beautiful. This is incredible because I'm going to show you. You have the heartbreak here, but Leos are choosing happiness. They want to be happy. And there's a definite dive into more creative elements of your life and your work. Like, let's get creative. Okay, forget about, if I feel sad, I'm going to draw a sad picture. If I feel terrible, I'm going to create a poem. If I feel like my heart's broken, I'm going to write a great heartbreaking or I'm going to write a great breakup song. Right? It's like turning that pain and suffering into something good, into something really good. And then we have Temperance here, which is here to bring in the equal parts of something, right? So, and here's the thing. Maybe you need the good feelings and the bad feelings, right? Maybe you need these two in order to create something completely unique and fascinating and interesting. Something that could lead to something profitable, even gratifying internally. There's a perfect mixture of both the good and the bad. Assessments. You're looking at your life in its totality and trying to assess where you are, where you've been. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that can help, but really I'm feeling like this could be more like well, let me show you the next card. The next card is the Ace of Cups, which is about emotional happiness and gratification. So when you're assessing, you're looking for, well, where are the areas in my life where I've been emotionally gratified and happy? Where were those last times I felt happy? And you're waiting for it to come back again, to be happy. At least if you've never felt truly happy, you're waiting for that. You're waiting for your happiness to come. And I know this sounds really weird, but you know what the universe is saying? It's through career, money. I know it's not. Look, I'm going to put this out there. I know that being happy isn't about having money. I know it. I know that that's not true. However, careers have something in it that it's not just about making money, right? Because we all know how to make money. We can make money, anywhere, doing anything. But it's doing something that you absolutely love, that gives you the gratification of doing something to benefit mankind, to help your peers, to help others. That kind of thing. Something that's so good that it helps people long after you're gone. Okay? It will pay you in money, but it also pay you in the riches of life, like the emotional happiness that you're looking for, because at least you're helping others. People are contacting, people are connecting with you, you're connecting with people. And I believe that is a good way, a very good way to see that. And maybe it's not, maybe I'm preaching to the choir right now. Maybe because it feels like this is the choice you're making. I'm not telling anybody to do this. This is the choice that a lot of Leos are making. There may be some Leos who are against it totally, but I feel like there's some Leos out there that are like, yeah, we're going to get our career together, because once we get that together, we can pick and choose who we want to be with, where we want to live, that kind of thing. It's about having power over your lifestyle, your life in general. So, moving on, we have the Judgment card, which is really about the timing, right? It's about timing. It's about it being the right time for you to be gifted with the things that you've been wanting, the emotional happiness that you've been wanting. This is your immediate, like, I'm diving into somebody's thoughts right now. They're like, it's time for Gabriel to blow his horn. Okay, it is time for the, it's time for the coming of my emotional happiness, my joy. And there's an issue, there's a lot of things you want. The problem is, of course, focus. And we have this Knight of Pentacles here, really talking about, in association with all of this, is that, an opportunity or an offer might come your way for a career or maybe another job. And this is very interesting, because all parts of you is like, yes, I want to take that. I want to take that opportunity, because it's going to give me financial, it's going to bring me the happiness that we were talking about, right? It's time for the happiness, and this offer is offering this happiness. But it's not. Don't take the offer. Don't take the offer. I wouldn't take the offer. And I'll tell you why. Because this is the end of an emotional time, of course. But the Tower here is just saying that whatever the offer is just completely restructuring everything you know. And you may have to rebuild. It may be even like seeing an opportunity to go somewhere and do something extra, or add an extra thing to your workload, and it's just way too much for you. And there's a sense that, oh, you'll be giving back to the community, you'll be helping, all the things that you've been wanting to do. But there's something shady about the whole thing. There's something that's really hard for you to fight through on this. It's like someone, like, something isn't right about this. Something isn't right about this. This person, someone, may have to leave I mean, this could be really like setting you back. That's what this is. This is setting you back. This could be a setback. Oh, now it's coming to me. There could be something that you're supposed to invest in, or even like trying out something new right at the very end of January. And it could, by jumping into that, could set you back. Okay. Even if it goes through as you plan, you're calm about it, very chill. It's emotional, but you're good. Gonna dive into your spiritual plane. Take a step back, see where things went wrong. You may do some crying over some spilled milk, like, I wish I hadn't done that. You may have to ultimately walk away from the idea. It wasn't a good match. Like, whatever it was that you were like, okay, let's test it out. Nope. It wasn't a good match. And mind you, I could be changing the course of that entire affair by just talking to you right now. Maybe you can cut yourself off from jumping into this sort of change gears thing. Like, whatever it is, it's like changing gears on something, and it could like I said, set you back from doing that. And you'll be a little defensive, like, I had to try it because I didn't know, but it was something that I had to experiment with. And then you have to start over a little bit and build a new foundation. Wow, that stumped me for a little bit right there, but that's the story. That's the story that's being told there. Okay, so now, part of this whole thing is about setting up a legacy, okay? Setting up a legacy for yourself. This whole thing has put you in an uncomfortable situation. You had to go internal and do some thinking, trying to figure this whole thing out. Like, what did I do? Okay, I made some bad moves, and just kind of check yourself, right? Just to check yourself. Then we have, it's going to keep you up all night. You're going to feel like really bad, like betrayed, abandoned, lost, all sorts of feelings. So there may be an announcement that you have to, that you're moving on. You may have to address people who were expecting something from you, or they were expecting you to continue this project. You may have to announce that you're not doing it anymore. Yep. Moving on to something better. As it was too much juggling. And you're doing this for you. And you're trying to keep your money in your pocket. And there was there was too much competition. So, and you've made the decision, and now you can celebrate and move on. Okay. So then we have the moon. It says, you know, there's, moving forward, there's going to be some secrets or things that you don't know that was happening behind the scenes in all of this. King of Cups, very emotional, very sensitive, very like you're trying to remain stoic, but at the same time you were very hurt by all this. There's a lot, like, emotions were high on this. And so there's still a feeling of stepping into something new. And, you know, decisions that you just didn't know the outcome of. You didn't know what was going to happen. And you still don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of mystery about what is going to happen. A lot of, I hate to use the word fear, but that's there. There's a lot of fear. But in the last, very last part of January, the completion of January, there will be a feeling of healing. Like, oh, we got through that. You know, that there's a feeling of repairing and convalescing and getting yourself together before the next battle or the next round. The next round of things that are going to be happening in your life. I should not have used the word battle because that's too strong of a word. More like the next round of events or the next round of the tournament of life. And those are going to be, you know, the healing part that you're going to be doing is definitely going to be very good for your soul, good for your body. Lots of rejuvenation happening. You're going to be looking really good to other people. They're going to be like, you know, wow, you're taking care of yourself. At this point, though, while things are quiet, there's going to be some time for you to do that intense manifesting that you need to do to help the rest of the year go smoothly, right? To help the rest of the year go smoothly, you need to manifest all the things that you need to do. Get more crystals. Get your incense burning. Okay, pray. Do vision boarding, anything you can to keep that your manifestation energies up high and keep yourself thinking about how awesome the future is going to be. How awesome isn't it going to be? It's going to be amazing. All of the cool things that you're going to do, all the cool people you're going to meet, all the cool vacations you're going to go on, all the cool, like, lifestyle that you're going to have, you get to create that. And it's only going to come from a time of creation. This is where a lot of the creation happens, is during the manifestation period. And again, what I was saying here with this, like, taking on like some kind of new thing that you might take on. Some of you guys are not gonna take this thing because you're listening. Well, what I'm saying is that when you're through with all this, make sure to tell people. Tell people about how you feel, about how it felt to be overwhelmed with too much stuff, that you thought that you were able to do something and that it didn't work out. Like, share in those kinds of details, because people need to feel like, in order to gain people's trust, it really has to be like, they have to get to know you. They have to understand that you're a lot like they are. You make mistakes too. And so maybe talking about this could be very therapeutic for you. But it puts you in a place to manifest. Big things are in the works. They're still being worked out. Like, the wheels are happening. The wheels are turning. And they're working on your behalf. These two together, wow. The Wheel of Fortune and the Magician together, powerful stuff. It's really powerful stuff. And to finish off the card, Queen of Pentacles. I believe that that is where Leos are headed, towards a very nurturing and wonderful future with lots of growth and brightness and greenery. Leos can do it. Thank you so very much for watching and supporting and subscribing. If you haven't, please consider doing so for Leo monthly readings. And be sure to hit the bell icon to be the first to know when my next video gets posted. Many blessings, my awesome Leos! And remember, this channel is for you and for you alone.